have here is a 100-year-old house and brand new concrete. Now we have to install a threshold, and as usual with an old house, nothing's plumb, level, or square. So what we got to do is fill the gap in at the bottom of this non-standard size doorway with a aluminum threshold here. Okay, here's what we're looking at. This door is a homemade door, it's thicker than normal, and what happens is when I close the door, there's way too much gap underneath, and we want to prevent weather and insects, varmints, and everything else from coming in. What I have here is this aluminum threshold, and it will have a rubber strip on it. You'll notice that one side has a small curve and the other side has a longer curve. And what we'll do is we'll install that to fit the door properly. The first thing you've got to do is measure the width of the door from the widest part, which is right here. And this particular door has a little piece that comes out and over, so we might have to notch that with some tools there. This piece of crap here I'm probably going to have to screw in and fix and trim the bottom, and the same on the other side. And as usual with an old house, the width of this door happens to be 30 inches, so we're going to have to trim that aluminum piece down for sure. I'm going to cut this aluminum here with the bandsaw. Alright, well that kind of sucked. It didn't cut exactly the way I wanted on the end here. I'll have to trim it. Okay, the bottom of our door needs to be the right height, and it looks like we're going to have to trim it to match the threshold. So our threshold's about 3/4 of an inch from bottom to top of rubber. So I'm going to make the door 5/8 of an inch from the concrete to the bottom of a door. That way we'll get like about an eighth inch of depression to get a pretty good seal. I don't have much to trim on the bottom of the door, so a belt sander will do the job. Now that we have the door removed, this is a good time to see if our aluminum threshold is going to fit. Okay, it is the right length. Looks like I'm going to have to cut a little notch right here and right here to make it fit. We want our holes to be in center of where the door is going to be. So the center of the holes should be center of door. The longer strip should go inside. Well, actually, let me see here. It depends on your door. Maybe in this case we'll put it outside. Let's try that. Okay, I kind of like this longer piece here on the outside, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure how much I have to cut off to get the center. So we'll measure distance from edge from here to the center, and then we'll measure the center of the door, which is probably right about there, about, I'd say about maybe
probably like a 7/8 of an inch. So that means I'm going to have to cut enough to make up for that. Okay, that's exactly where I want it. The center of the strip here will be center of door. Over here, I got this piece of seal in the way. I'm going to have to trim that with my grinder, so let me get that fixed right now. Okay, everything looks like it fits well on both ends. And now we have another problem. The concrete is not exactly flush. See that? There's a little bit of a dip right here. We might be able to fill that in with some caulking. We don't want to bend this threshold because then it won't seal against the door right. So our option is going to be to probably put a spacer where the screw holes are the same height as this gap. Okay, we now have another problem. Remember the ends we cut off? We also cut off the extra holes. And the reason why this is too big is because the store didn't sell a 30-inch threshold, so we have to make our own holes and try to countersink them too. Okay, what you want to do is get a block of wood on the back side of the threshold, measure about 2 inches over, maybe 1.5 inches, and drill your hole.